What can a tier 7 light tank do in a tier 9 match? Let's find out. Hello guys and welcome back to World of Tanks Ace Tanker series. As you can see, today we'll be driving the Type 62 on the map Erlenberg. So this is the assault game mode, and Skill to Drill is going to defend on this pretty nice map for a light tank. So what you can see him doing here now is going for the standard light position to be able to spot the enemies that are trying to progress around the zero line and basically try and fend them off and spot them for the tanks and tank destroyers that are usually like to camp on the C0. So the game starts really nice here. We can see that the enemy T-34 decided to drown, and that is very good for this tank. Is one of the better tanks in the opposite side. As you can see, on this position, Skill to Drill was able to basically proxy spot these two tanks, that's the Speerpanzer 1C and the Panther 2, and allow the tanks that are near the houses on D9 to shoot them. Now when the enemy tanks have gone away, he can get back to the spotting, and you can see him now spotting 3 of the enemy tanks and allowing the friendly team to shoot them. Now on the other flank you can see the usual thing that happens on the encounter battle mode. That's the heavy tanks are pushing on the 1 and 2 line, and basically they are crushing the resistance that is there. So a friendly WZ-120 has died. It's a tier 9 tank, and in this tier 9 matchup it is very important that the tier 9s don't die. But as you will see up to the end of the game, you can sometimes rely on your light tanks to carry you to victory. So not much has going on here now. We can see Skill to Drill basically spotting the enemies, and he decides to go for the first shot on the T-29. Unfortunately he doesn't penetrate, and maybe it's the bad aim on the shot, but this tank doesn't get that much of penetration. It's only 145mm with the standard round, and you really have to struggle sometimes to hit tanks and penetrate them. Well, even from the side, as you can see here on the T-29. Now the friendly team finally counts the number of the enemy tanks on the other side and decides to push. So when the enemies are basically destroyed the left flank and they are going for the cap, the friendly team decides to push this flank and clean out these 2 tanks that are here. We can see the Skill to Drill using the carousel tactics on this T-29. The excellent reload time on the Type 62 allows him to basically circle around the T-29 and put a couple of shots in him. With the 100% crew you get around 11 rounds per minute reload, and it allows you to get up to 2000 DPM with the 100% crew. If you get all of the perks that increase your DPM, you can get up to 2400. Now this was the first damage that the light tank took. Basically he did what he should have done there. He killed the T-29 and finished off the Panther 2, and now he finishes off the scout in the middle, and that scout was one of the more important players on this map because he was spotting the enemy, for the enemy team, the friendly tanks that are closing in. So the friendlies have started the cap. It's at around 80% now. Fortunately it gets reset, but it is really risky to let the enemies get into the cap like that, because As you know, on this map you get a lot of nice spots where you can hide. Now, Skill to Drill hunts down this Rhine Metal Borsi. You saw him shooting HE shells there. He's still using HE shells. Maybe it would have been better that he fired regular AP rounds on that AMX. He would probably kill him, but who would know that the HE shells wouldn't penetrate that lightly armored tank. So with this 145mm penetration, you can see that he really isn't able to penetrate the E75 from the sides, as he is angled very well towards him. So he's now switching to the premium shells. Each and every premium shell has 120mm of penetration, which is a huge boost, but it's a heat shell, so he must be careful not to shoot at the spaced armor. So, as this position is no longer that good, he decides to relocate, and what he's going to do now is go for the Tiger II. So this matchup seems pretty good so far because it's 5 tanks to 2, but don't forget the enemy team has the E75 and the Tiger II, and basically that E75 can carry the game if he gets rid of the T-54 and the IS-3. So the IS-3 dies now, but the T-54 is still there, and basically that's the only threat for the E-75, as the Su-152, if he is using AP shells, can't really do much damage on the E-75. So we can see that Skill to Drill is doing the same tactics as he did on the T-29. He basically out-aims for the Tiger II, but look how he waits for the shot when he is on the side of the Tiger II, because he knows that he doesn't penetrate the frontal armor of the Tiger II, but whenever he is on the side or the rear, he can shoot and penetrate reliably. So the only thing left to do now is to kill the E-75, and you can see him loading the premium shells immediately, going for the E-75. Meanwhile, the E-75 managed to kill the T-54, and now we have 1 tier 8 and 2 tier 7s against this tier 9, which is... Actually, we have 2 tier 7s against this tier 9, which is heavily armored and with a big gun. So the first shot here goes for the tracks, doesn't penetrate. Maybe it would be better that he took the shot on the cupola and did damage, but unfortunately he wasn't able to. Now he is trying to do the same thing here with the E-75, but in this close quarters combat it's not that easy. He doesn't have much space to maneuver, and you will see what he is doing now. He is basically going forward and backward. Every time when he is on the middle of the tank, he fires his gun and hopes to penetrate. Now he is out of premium shells, and this rocking forward and backward really upsets the aiming of the E-75, and he wasn't able to shoot him. Now what the E-75 should have done here is use the auto aim and kill him, but he was able to finish the E-75 with 6 kills. That's a GG, and let's take a look at the post-game stats. As you can see, Skill to Drill had an excellent game here. He got a couple of medals like Bruiser, Duelist, Fire for Effect, a Top Gun medal, and of course the Mastery Badge Ice Tanker. On the team score sheet we can see that he finished first with 3900 damage, 6 kills and 1800 experience, which is almost double than the second guy in his team. On the detailed report we can see that he fired 32 shots, of which 31 hit the target and 23 penetrated. Now bear in mind it's a tier 7 tank, it only has 180 damage per shot, and it has only 145mm of penetration with standard rounds, so you really have to be impressed by the things that he did here. And even when firing those 5 premium shells, he was still able to get 40,000 credits profit. Thank you all for watching. If you didn't like the video, drop a dislike or leave a comment how I can improve the channel. And if you liked the video, hit the like button, share and subscribe for more content, as it really helps me out a lot. And also don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Google+, to get the new content first, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And if you're wondering what to watch next, hit the little I button in the top right corner and it will lead you to another video. See you guys next time.